Let's talk about the intents in Android Kotlin. So, what are intents? In Android development using Kotlin, intents are a fundamental concept used to facilitate communication between components of an application as well as between different applications on the Android platform. Intents serve as a message mechanism that enables developer to request functionalities from other Android components such as activities, service, and broadcast receivers. Types of intents. There are two main types of intents in Android. First one is explicit intent. Explicit intent are used to start a specific component within the same application. You specify the exact component, usually an activity that should be started by providing its class name or a unique identifier. Example, here I have started one activity from first activity. Here I have created one instance of intent, val intent is initialized to intent, and this activity and second activity class dot java. Then start activity, I have passed the object of its intent here. Now second type of intent is implicit intent. Implicit intents are used when you want to activate a component that can handle a particular action, such as opening a web page, sending an email, or selecting a contact. The system determines the appropriate component to fulfill the intent based on its declared capability. Here, I have created one instance of intent val intent intent dot action underscore view ui dot parse and http www.example.com and start activity and intent. Let's understand it by giving one example. Open the Android Studio and create one project, file, new project, and I will take empty views and activity. Click next, and I will name it as intents minimum SDK this, and click finish. Now I'm going from this activity to another activity by using the concept of intents. Let's go to the layout file of this activity. Assign layout file. Here is a layout file. Before that, I have to enable the binding. Go to the build.gradle here. Now, here in Android, I will type build features, and here I will pass data binding is equal to true. Now sync now. Now after enabling the data binding, go to the layout file here and click here, show context section, convert to data binding layout. Okay. Now remove this line, and I will create one button over there by clicking of the one but this button I will go to the another activity. Let's take button over there. Let's cut this, or I can change this to app compat button. Okay, here is a button, and I will give it a text submit. Okay, and I will give it one ID. Let's extract the string resource, Alt plus enter, extract the string resource and click OK. And I will provide it one ID. ID is initialized to submit button. Okay. Now create another activity here. Right click here, new activity and empty views and activity. Click here and I will type as an main activity too and click finish. And to this activity, split screen here and I will create one text view over there. App compact text view and the width will be wrap content, height will be wrap content and pass the constraint start to start of parent and top to top of parent and end to end of parent here and bottom to bottom of parent. As you can see, the text is moved to the center. Now I will pass the text size here. The text size will be 16 sp. Okay. Now I will pass one text here. Text second. This is second activity. Okay. Let's close this and extract the string resource or plus enter, click enter. Now go to the first activity. Now create the instance of binding here. Late init where binding of activity main binding. If you enable the if you enable the data binding, the view binding will automatically get activated. Here I will initialize. Binding is initialized to data binding util dot set content view and it is asking for activity this and layout are dot layout dot activity main. Now create one function over there init UI and click here create function and here I will pass the button binding dot submit button dot set on click listener and I will go from first activity to this activity using the intent. Let's create the instance of intent here. Val intent is to intent and it is also from this to main activity to class dot java. Now start the activity, start activity and pass the intent here. Okay, now let's run it. App is running. Let's click on the submit. Here the device and running device here. Window mode. Hope it is visible. Now, if I click on submit, as you can see, I moved to the second activity. Similarly, I can also pass the data from one activity to uh, second activity. For that, go to the activity.main XML file and here I will create one text view to display the data. Let's remove text from there. Where is the text and remove it. I'll pass the text from one activity to this activity. Let's save Control S and give it one ID. ID. I will give it to TV1. Okay. Now go to the first activity layout file here and let's remove one button. Let's cut it. Control X. Now I will first create one edit text over there, app compact edit text, and I will give the width to wrap content, height wrap content. Let's give the width to 0 dp and give the constraint start to start of parent, top to top of parent, and end to end of parent. Margin horizontal I will give 20 dp and the margin top I will give 20 dp. Okay, now I will give one hint enter name. Okay, now I will give it one ID name et. Let's extract the string resource here. All plus enter extract symbol. Click OK. Now I will pass one data from here. Below this I will take one button, Control V here, and I will move it to, let's remove this and remove this, top to top of parent, remove this. Now I want the button below the edit text, start to start of, wait, start to start of already given. I will give top to bottom of name et here and end to end of parent. Okay, and give some margin. Margin top I will give 10 dp. Okay, and that's it. Now I am going to pass data from this edit text and display to the second activity here. Let's go to the main activity here and I, I will add some data from here. Let's fetch the data from the edit text here. I will pass here, take one val message, and I will take the data from that binding. Let's correct the spelling using the binding dot name et dot text dot to string. Now I will pass the data here dot put extra and it will take the two. First the value will be the key will be extra message and the next argument it will take the message here. Okay, now go to the second activity and display the data. First go to the activity main.xml file, click here, right click, show context section and convert to data binding layout. Here, remove this line and Control S. Let's create instance of activity here. Late in it, where binding of type activity main to binding. Let's close this error. Now set binding initialized to data binding util dot set content view this, or we can simply cut this line here, Control X and paste it here, and it will take the two argument activity this comma dot layout activity dot main. Now create one function over there, init UI, click here and create a function. Now get the data from first activity here. I will create one variable val message, anything you can take, initialize to intent dot get string extra, and here I will pass the key which is extra message. Okay, get string extra, not short extra. Okay, now display it on text view, binding dot tv1 dot text dot set text, and I will pass this message. Okay, let's run it. We have successfully run the app. Now pass one message. Let's enter here my name, JG, and press submit. As you can see, I have successfully passed the data from one activity to another using the concept of intent. And on next video, next part, we will focus on the implicit intent. If you like my video, please subscribe the channel and comment. Thank you.